Hi Curious and welcome back. Today we are venturing into the world of tennis. The French Open is currently well underway and the world has been talking a lot about the 20-year-old Polish tennis player Iga Swiatek. But at the same time, many more had been talking about American Bethanie Mattek-Sands, who has been her doubles partner. And while, for a while now, many have been following Iga's career with much anticipation, their recent win in the quarterfinals has had more turn towards Bethanie. Who exactly is Mattek-Sands and how did she start her career in sport? What achievements does she have under her belt? Why was this duo's victory in the quarterfinals surprising to some? What is her private life like? And why have some called her the Lady Gaga of tennis? Stay tuned until the very end to find out all about Bethanie, but before we continue, make sure you turn on the notifications and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Before we get talking about the duo's achievements during the French Open, let's get to know the American player a little bit better. Bethanie Lynn Mattek-Sands was born on March 23, 1985 in Rochester, Minnesota. According to her official profile on the Women's Tennis Association website, her father is an accountant while her mother works as a nurse. She also has two brothers, Chad and Andrew, and a sister Allison. Bethanie had begun playing tennis at the age of 5, and it seems that even from such a young age she knew what she wanted career-wise, as only 9 years later, at the age of 14, in 1999, she made her first appearance in the WTA Tour on Philadelphia, qualifying as wildcard. Though it was in 2005 that she had begun to play full-time on tour. In the span of her career, Mattek-Sands has won 9 Grand Slam titles, 5 in women's doubles and 4 in mixed doubles. And where her achievements are concerned, it doesn't end here, as Bethanie is also a former doubles world #1 champion. Though right now, according to WTA rankings, she is currently 16th, with the #1 spot being taken by 28-year-old Kristina Mladenovic, who represents France. But let's look a little bit closer at what her best results have been over the course of her career. Where singles are concerned, on the WTA Tour, her best results were reaching the 4th round of 2 Grand Slam events, Wimbledon 2008 and French Open in 2013, semi-finals of the tournaments in Cincinnati 2005 and Birmingham 2008, and the final of the Bell Challenge in both 2008 and 2010. Her singles career high ranking was number 30 in the world on July 11, 2011. She has also had many successes in women's doubles, winning 27 career titles, which included the aforementioned 5 Grand Slams at the 2015 Australian and French Opens, 2016 US Opens, 2017 Australian and French Open. All these doubles wins had been with her partner Lucy Safarova. The reason the two had stopped playing together was that on the 4th day of Roland Garros in 2019, Safarova had played her last match before her retirement. Though now it seems that Bethanie has found success with her new partner Iga Swiatek, but more about that in a moment. However, if you want to get to know the Polish tennis star, you can do so by checking out our previous video by clicking on the link above. But for now, make sure to stay with us until the very end. Thanks to all those successes, it secured her the position as the world #1 in doubles on January 9, 2019, and she held that top ranking for a period of 32 consecutive weeks. On top of all these Grand Slam tournaments and everything in between, Mattek-Sands has also won a gold medal at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Her partner was Jack Sock, and the two had beat Venus Williams and Rajiv Ram. Her playing style had been described by the WTA as versatile, all-court style combining speed, determination, skill and agility around the net. But it wasn't just tennis that has brought her success, but also some business partnerships. One of her other passions besides tennis is fashion, which we will talk more about in a moment, and it is exactly how back in 2019 she started a partnership with tennis brand Lucky in Love to release her own line of sports clothes. When the news was first announced, Bethanie had spoken with Forbes magazine about the news and said that she had been very hands-on with the design process. All her successes on and off the court had helped the player secure a net worth of around $7 million, as per celebwealth.com. And speaking of Mattek-Sands and fashion, why is it that some had begun calling her the Lady Gaga of tennis? The reason is simple. Both off as well as on the court, she is known for her personal style, which some might call a fairly outrageous sense of fashion. She is known for her hats, metallic dresses and prep chic outfits that she is known to wear. adding with the fact that she isn't scared to make bold choices also with her hair. When, for example, before the 2018 Wimbledon, she had dyed her hair a colour which she described as neon strawberry blonde colour, which was a suggestion from a dedicated fan. Bethanie herself has revealed that her fashion choices are really talked about and that her outfits often prompt "where'd you get that?" questions from Serena Williams and other top names in tennis. She also doesn't shy away from wearing her flashy outfits to official tennis events and red carpets. But it looks like they had also been well received by fans who had dubbed her the Lady Gaga of tennis, making the comparison between the player and the bad romance singer. Though speaking of Williams, why not check out our previous video that we have about her by clicking on the link above, but for now make sure you stay with us until the very end. However, when it comes to sport, along with all the successes and triumphs of athletes, there also comes some time where they have problems with injuries that affect their gameplay and at times make them pull out of competitions. It was no different in the case of Mattek-Sands. She had suffered several injuries, with the first one being in 2009, which caused her to pull out of the Australian Open with a hip injury. 2 years later, she had to withdraw from a heavily scheduled hardcourt series due to a shoulder injury. Once again, she had to withdraw in both 2012 and 2014 due to injuries. However, it was in 2017 when Bethanie suffered a major knee injury that required her to undergo surgery and take a year off to heal. Though eventually, she came back in 2018 and won the 2018 and 2019 US Open mixed doubles titles with her partner Jamie Murray. For a second, let's put her sports career aside and take a look at what her private life is like. Back in November 2008, Bethanie married Justin Sands and the pair reside in Phoenix, Arizona with their dog, Bull Mastiff called Roger. When the couple had said the sacramental "I do," instead of going for traditional wedding bands, the two chose to tattoo each other's names on their fingers. However, looking at her Instagram, it is clear that the player loves tattoos and has several herself, such as a bee design and a colourful flowers. A fun fact is that her husband is also her manager. The pair did not shy away from showing their love for each other on their Instagram profile, and from Justin's page, it is clear that he is an avid hunter, a hobby for which Bethanie sometimes joins him for hunting trips, which at times gets the pair some backlash from tennis fans and animal support groups. So now let's talk about the most recent victory that Bethanie and Iga Swiatek had celebrated, as they managed to reach their semi-final of women's doubles. Though it is worth pointing out that it is not the first time that the two played together. They played together 3 times during different tournaments, however, this is their pair debut during a Grand Slam. Their quarter-final victory came after they had beat Daria Jurek and Andrea Klepac, which to some was a surprise as the Croatian and Slovenian duo were the favourites of not only fans but sports commentators to win. The Polish-American duo had won the match 6-3 in the first half and 6-2 in the second. Though their victory wasn't without some controversy. During the action, the ball hit the court close to the line, but according to the match referee, it was still within the playing field. After all that, Mattek-Sands walked past the mark that the ball had left and pointed to it by touching the court with her racket. And that is where it all started. At that point, the referee stated that she wanted to check where the ball had actually fallen, but as Bethanie had touched the mark, she prevented her from doing so. Eventually, Jurek and Klepac had repeated their serve, but for the rest of the game, the Swiatek-Mattek-Sands duo was fueled by the energy from the whole situation and, as we mentioned before, managed to win the game in 2 sets. It seems that the two ladies are getting along pretty well, as evidenced by the photographs of the duo that Bethanie had eagerly shared on her Instagram page during the French Open, as well as evidenced by a recent interview where she had taken on the role of a laid-back journalist asking the 20-year-old Polish player questions. It started off innocently enough, asking about music and what she listens to before matches, to which Iga revealed that recently she has been listening to Guns N' Roses prior to games. Other questions also included to who she was looking for during tough moments on the court, and in the end she decided to ask a little bit more of a personal question: is Iga single and does she have a boyfriend? To this, Swiatek only laughed and said that at the moment she doesn't have a boyfriend, saying that at this moment in her career there have been some sacrifices that she had to make and that her private life must be a little bit limited at this moment. From this video, as well as the aforementioned photos on Instagram, it is clear that the women are getting along well, and possibly the younger one could benefit from getting to play alongside a more experienced player such as Bethanie. The women had continued on with the game, competing against the duo consisting of Romanian Irina Camelia Begu and Argentine Nadia Podoroska, fighting for a place in the women's doubles final. So curious, have you followed Mattek-Sands' career prior to this year's French Open? What do you think about her famous fashion choices? Does the nickname Lady Gaga of tennis suit her? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.